I want to welcome FTX to the Chapter 11 bankruptcy world. We have Celsius and Voyager already in this dumpster fire, so welcome FTX creditors. Actually, I'm very sorry because it is horrible what's happening with FTX. So what I'm going to do in this video is cover it. I'm recording this in a bathroom, which is appropriate for talking about FTX. So what I want to start out going over all the updates from today. So in no particular order, we have SBF saying, "Hi all, today I filed FTX, FTX US, and Alameda for Chapter 11. I'm really sorry again that we ended up here." But not only was there a Chapter 11, here it says FTX legal and finance teams learned that SBF implemented what the two people described as a backdoor into FTX's bookkeeping system, and this allowed SBF to execute commands that could alter the company's financial records. This is why he is going to be heavily investigated by the SEC and probably the DOJ. Here somebody says that FTX was hacked for almost $400 million. All funds are drained. All balances are zero. I have heard this is as high as $600 million. And what do you know? Very, very quickly, senators are moving forward with SBF-backed bill after FTX's collapse. Now, there are some conspiracies here, which I may get to. Essentially, SBF could have been put here by the government and by the regulators to purposely fall. So then the regulators can come and say, wow, we really need to control DeFi. We need to control exchanges. And this is what I'm talking about. April 25th, 2019, Biden announces his presidential campaign. 13 days later, SBF, son of Barbara, who is the co-founder of the political fundraising organizations, launches FTX crypto exchange. The exchange is an overnight success. SBF becomes the biggest donor to Biden. I believe he was the second largest donor. But yeah, I mean, there are some coincidences here. And talking about Voyager, so they are obviously going to reopen the bidding process and are in active discussions with alternative bidders. So obviously, we knew this was going to happen. There's no way that FTX was going to go through with the bid. So they are back into looking at bidders, similar to where Celsius is right now, also looking for bidders for their assets. So this infographic is pretty powerful. Simon Dixon says, what happens when you print and leverage your own token before it crashes? Essentially, you can raise as much capital as you want. So this is SBF's empire. Through Alameda, he invested in all of these companies. Then we have FTX having all of these acquisitions, FTX's investments, including Circle, and FTX Ventures. These are what they invested in. We have at the bottom here Yuga Labs, which is the company behind Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. So this is what happens when you have a bunch of people trusting that FTX is the best and safest exchange, and this blow up is huge because, again, they were printing their FTT token and they were using that to take loans against as collateral, and then they were just printing money at will. Their balance sheet looked huge, they were getting more investors, and then they were getting more money to invest into all of these companies. And then we have a story saying that 10 people who lived together and were romantically involved, talking about Sam Bankman-Fried, and they were, I guess, screwing each other while they were screwing us. So that is the best joke I'll make today. And right here, Simon Dixon says, oh boy, going to be a long Chapter 11 after this one. 134 of FTX's firms filed for bankruptcy. I can scroll down here and it'll go all the way to 134 different firms. And my gosh, I mean, with Celsius, I forgot how many. I think there's like 8 or 10 different subsidiaries. They have 134. This is going to take a very, 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 very long time. And if you had money locked in FTX and you couldn't get it out, I just want to let you know that there's a lot of other people in Chapter 11. If you're watching this and you're unfamiliar with my station, I've been covering Celsius's Chapter 11 for the last couple months. And I think FTX's is going to be the biggest and the one that lasts for the longest time. And this is the official press release from FTX saying that they commenced voluntary Chapter 11. And Thomas Braziel, a very smart guy who is an expert in bankruptcies, says that this is just a complete disaster with FTX. He says regarding Voyager Digital, it is clear that the deal is off, obviously, and the estate, the Voyager estate, will have causes of action against FTX, but also now the FTX loan repayment to Voyager, I assume, is a preference potential fraudulent transfer. That's very complicated bankruptcy terms to what he says, what a mess. And I'll end the video with this very simple message that if you are caught in FTX and you feel very depressed or suicidal, I encourage you to reach out to other people who are also going through similar things or actually get professional help. And ultimately, remember that financial problems are not a reason for you to do anything horrible regarding your well-being. And Simon Dixon mentioned this on a Twitter Spaces tonight. He mentioned that there was somebody very suicidal that came onto a Celsius Twitter Spaces and said essentially like, I am very close to ending my life. And he said that Simon on the Twitter Spaces talking about Celsius and keeping everybody informed literally helped him and gave him reason to keep going on and remembering that, you know, he had a family and kids and people that loved him. So I know that's a little bit of a depressing message, but this is a very, very serious thing, and a lot of people's lives will be changed from this. So I will be covering this. If you're new to the station, subscribe if you want to get all the FTX updates regarding the bankruptcy proceedings that will eventually be happening and getting started. And that's it, guys. So till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.